Thank you all for having me. This is going to be a little bit of a problem because I do this a lot, so we're going to do the best we can with the mic. I feel like I should break into song. I don't sing, that's my husband. So as you mentioned, yes, I'm a writer, and I'm going to give some history. So I want to talk about Girls Love Mail and the charity, but I wanted to give you a little bit about my journey, just to kind of share a little bit of that part, a little bit about breast cancer, and then we'll talk about the charity. So that's the talk this afternoon. So, as mentioned, I'm a writer, and I was working on a novel. It's called an epistolary novel, which means the story is told all through letters. So I've been writing this book for 8 years, researching letters, reading letters, historical letters in the 1700s, letters, and I find a lump. I just turned 40, it's happy birthday to me. And so I found a lump. I didn't panic, but it was obvious. And I have a lot of friends who ask me, what did it feel like? And I will tell you that if you do your self-exams, we're going to talk about that. It's very obvious. It feels, something's there. It's not right. So I went to get it checked out, and they kept saying, oh, you're so young, and it feels very symmetrical. I'm sure it's fine. So I worried anyway. Got my test, got a mammogram, got a sonogram, did all that, and they did a biopsy, needle biopsy. So it was Friday, February 9th, 2009, a date I remember forever, I'm sure. I got a call from the doctor. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and they have the results of the needle biopsy. The doctor wants you to come in to go over the results. That's never a good thing. So okay, I'll come right in. Oh, no, we don't have an opening until 4:30 this afternoon. So that was a very long day. So I finally get to the doctor, and my doctor comes in and says, well, of course it's breast cancer. Why else would you be here? So that's how I found out. Now, to his credit, he was very kind of Pollyanna doctor, and he worked for me. He's very upbeat. And he said, it's small, it's early, it's going to be fine, and he was very upbeat. So again, my personality, it may not have been the best for everyone. He knew me fairly well. So off I go to get treatment, and the first stop was the surgeon. And I'm going to mention this because I'm going to bring this back later. If I don't remember, remind me. I got to the surgeon, and I got a cancer binder. So I'm newly diagnosed, and I have this big binder of information. And it's really scary because in it is information about treatment options. I don't know what's going to happen. They don't even know what stage officially it is yet. It's small, but they don't know what stage. So I get this binder, and it's got treatment options and ad for wigs, losing your hair, losing your fingernails, losing your eyebrows. So it's very scary kind of information. So I'm reading through this panicking that I don't know what's going to happen. Finally get good surgery. Now, this all happened within a week's time. I'm diagnosed the 9th. By the 16th, I'm in surgery. Doctor comes walking in, the surgeon, and I'm all prepped with a little hat on, looks great. And he's drinking a Diet Coke. I said, really? You think you want to have some caffeine now? Maybe you want to, take some water. He also was kind of, I live in Folsom. I don't know if the doctor's a little bit goofy out there or what, but he was a little bit of a goof also. So anyway, got to surgery. All was well. Thankfully, it was small. It was stage 1. Diagnosed early. I did not have any problem with lymph nodes. They only took out 3 lymph nodes. Just to ask the question, anyone here know people who have been through breast cancer, understand the lymph nodes and that process? Okay, feel right. Okay, we'll talk. I can mention that too when we talk a little more, just to get a ballpark, because that's a big deal. The lymph nodes are a big deal because technically you don't really die from the breast tissue having cancer, right? It's from going to other parts of your body. So it's a big deal. I didn't have the lymph nodes. Then they also did an extra test. Now, back in 2009, this test was only 2 years old. So it was a fairly new test called an Oncotype test. And what that meant was I did not need chemotherapy. Now, that was a huge relief, I'm sure you can imagine. And it was funny because the test had a low, medium, and a high. So low, you didn't need chemotherapy at all. High, you definitely did. And medium was your decision. And I kept praying, please not the middle. I don't want to make that decision. I want it made for me. So luckily it was low, so I didn't need chemotherapy. And that's a huge relief. But I am a twin. I'm a fraternal twin. We don't look alike at all. And so I'm also Ashkenazi Jew, and we're going to talk about that as well. So the doctor said we want to do a genetic testing on you for the BRCA gene. And we're going to talk a little bit about the BRCA gene. Have you all heard about the BRCA gene? It's a BRCA. It stands for breast cancer gene 1 and 2. Okay, so I don't have the gene. That's good. So they did test me for that. So it's going smooth. It's going right along. So they said, okay, but you have to have radiation. Got the lump removed, onto radiation, all is well. Well, that's where things got a little dicey, just for me. And usually radiation is fairly straightforward, but we were talking about this at lunch. I'm very small, I'm a very petite person. and the breast cancer was on the left-hand side, so they were worried about radiating my heart. So that was a problem. So they said, well, do you know what, Gina? I know what we can do. We got a new procedure. You want to be a test guinea pig for a new test? Okay. So they did what I did. They actually put a GPS sensor on me, basically, and it's called a breath hold. So what I had to do for radiation was actually hold my breath to raise the cavity to keep it off of my heart. This sounds fairly straightforward. They kept saying, well, how long can you hold your breath? I don't.